Have you ever wondered what tarot is? Is it dangerous? Is it safe? Is it a sin? So today's video, I'm going to talk to you very simply, very straightforwardly about what tarot is and how you can use it to benefit your life. We'll talk a little bit about how it can be misused, as well as really dive into, is it a sin? Is it wrong to use? Okay, and to start this off, this video is inspired by a comment I recently got. I think it's quite common for tarot readers to have someone come out of the woodworks and say, you're a sinner, like you're going against God for using tarot cards. And I just felt like, I feel like not enough people truly understand what tarot is. Because if you understood, it's very hard to see it as a sin. So what is tarot? Quite simply, it is these cards. Okay, they started as a deck of playing cards in France, and then they began to be used for divination. So divination means connecting to divine spirits. Okay, this is what we use to seek guidance. Divination has been used all throughout history by many different cultures. You know, rune casting is divination. If you know, like reading chicken bones, reading tea leaves, those are all forms of divination. When shamans connect with ayahuasca and they connect to the plant spirits and the animal spirits, that's a form of divination. So divination is really anything that helps you to connect to the divine for answers, to connect to the spiritual realm for guidance. Okay, so that is what tarot is. It is just a form of guidance. Now, I want to tell you really honestly, these cards are not extremely powerful. Okay, these cards are just cards. Like I said, it started as a deck of playing cards. It didn't start as some crazy, evil, occult science. It started as a game, okay? And each of these cards have, you know, images. And these images contain symbolism. Now, the human mind, the human brain, learns really well through symbolism and metaphor. There's a reason why we have so many stories and myths used in all religions. You know, in Christianity, you have all sorts of myths that are used to teach the stories of the Bible. And this is carried out through all cultures, right? Stories are how we learn. Our earliest form of information that we know is stories, because that's what sits in our mind. The metaphors and the symbolism are way easier for us to grasp and gain a deeper understanding from than just straight facts. Okay, it's even said to people in a sales world or in a business world that you should use stories to sell more than facts, because facts and statistics don't do much for us. But stories that engage our emotions and engage, you know, more levels of our brain actually help us learn and actually help us gain gnosis, which is an inner understanding, an inner knowing, a deeper knowing. Okay, so these cards, that's what they're for. They use metaphors, they use symbolism. Each of these images, you know, I'll pull one out. What's a chill one? What's one that really, like, okay. Each of these images, right, they really give you an idea. Okay, so even you, not being a tarot reader, you know, maybe, I don't know how intuitive you are. You could be super intuitive or not that intuitive. Even you looking at this image, you're going to be able to associate it to things, and you're going to pick up meaning and understanding. So we use the images of these tarot cards to gain more understanding on what's going on in certain areas of our life. It's just symbolism. It doesn't control you. Okay, so if you see a tarot reading in which someone predicts something that you don't want to happen, it does not control you, okay? You can make different decisions. You can have different things happen. It's not set in stone. The future is always open. The future is always unfolding. We can pick to be in a different reality at any time, okay? What tarot does, though, is it shows us the most likely reality. So if you keep going, exactly as you are with the exact patterns that you have, what might happen? A lot of the time, I find the best way to use tarot is to help provide guidance when you're feeling indecisive, when you're trying to make a decision, because then you'll get, what does one decision have versus what does one choice give you versus what the other choice gives you, and you can have it laid out very clear for you. So it's really good for making decisions, and it's really good when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling hopeless, when you're in periods of deep grief or suffering. Tarot can help show you why something is happening. It can provide meaning to an event so that you understand it a bit more, so that you can accept it into your being. Because a lot of the time, things hurt a lot because we fight against it, okay? Grief, pain, the events of our life, they hurt more when we're just stuck in that resistance where we're like, this should not have happened. This should not be happening. Where we're constantly telling the story of what happened because our mind is just stuck there. So tarot can provide resolution. Tarot can provide an understanding of an event that allows you to accept it and let it go. Okay? And it can also provide a great deal of hope. It can show you, a lot of the times we might have something really negative happen to us and it hurts and we feel miserable. And then it turns out that if that thing didn't happen, we wouldn't have got some amazing thing later on. Like 1 year later or 2 years later, even sometimes, if that big thing if we hadn't gone through that pain, we might not have ended up with some huge fulfillment, right? So tarot can show you these things. It can show you hey, wait a second, maybe this is for your highest good still. Maybe this is going to work out in your favor. And it can also provide a lot of guidance. Now, tarot doesn't just work off my intuition as a tarot reader. It also uses your intuition. You are not passive when you're taking in tarot, okay? You get to take in and decide for yourself, does this feel right? Okay, does this feel what I want? Does this feel true for me? It is a reciprocal relationship between me and you. I connect to your energy to provide you with a reading, and you connect to my energy, and you give me feedback, and you see how this relates to your life. You see the messages. Sometimes you may get a reading and you may see a card and you may know what it means, right? Even if it's something a little bit abstract, I could give you some regular tarot definition of the star, but you could see it in a reading and it could actually trigger something else for you, some sort of sign or symbolism that you have. So there is a personal aspect to every tarot reading. It's not about giving all your power away to some psychic or some tarot reading and having them tell you exactly what it is. It is also there to help you connect to your intuition, your internal knowing, and your internal guidance system. You can use tarot to manifest a better life for yourself, because by tapping into the guidance of the cards, by looking for the ways that you can move towards the timeline or the life path that you're hoping for, that you want the best of, these cards can help reinforce those patterns, right? So say you want to manifest love, you can get a reading where it shows you what you can do to manifest love, or where we peek around the corner and see, yes, love is coming. And that can put you in a good mood so that you can be open and on the same vibration of whatever it is that you're wishing for. So tarot is super beneficial in manifesting and creating a better life for yourself. You can definitely use it that way. I mostly use it for guidance. When I'm confused about a situation, it gives you an answer, okay? And it's like flipping a coin. If you flip a coin, you don't have to follow the answer on the coin flip. You know what I mean? You flip the coin for a reason. Your plan is to follow whatever the coin tells you. But, If it lands and you're like, no, I don't want to do that, that's fine. Okay? It's just divination. It's just connecting to the higher self, to the spirit self, to the realm of the unseen. Personally, when I do tarot, I try to connect to your spirit guides and your highest self or God. Okay, those are my 3 go-tos. So some people will say that tarot is connecting to demons, that channelers are unknowingly channeling demons. To be honest, there's no way to know for sure. However, how do you feel when you watch the reading? Okay, that's how you know if it feels demonic. Does it feel like it's leading you astray? Does it feel like it's sucking a part of your soul out of you? Do you turn on the reading and you feel absolutely miserable after, or scared or uncertain? Then maybe it's not benefiting you. Okay? But how you feel after the reading will show you, is this reading made with good intentions? Honestly, like, I don't get why people say that it's demons, but it is what it is. I can't sit here and tell you for sure and know it's not demons because, you know, at the end of the day, I believe it to be God that I'm channeling. I believe it to be spirit guides, angels, your higher self, my higher self. That is what I truly believe. Is it possible that I'm completely wrong? Maybe, but it just seems absolutely ridiculous when I'm telling someone, you know, giving someone comfort over grief, or telling someone, you know, their life is going to work out okay, or they're making the right decisions, that would be something evil. The belief in evil in and of itself is crazy to me. As again, I'm going to go back to Florence Scovel Shinn because she's such an amazing woman and very much inspires me. She talks about how humans have created 2 powers in this world. There's God and then there's evil. But evil is created by us. The concept of evil is created by humans. In reality, there is only one power. There is only the one power of God. It is all God. If you're from a Christian faith, God is omnipresent. God is within all things. So how could God not be in this deck of cards? Right? Why is God in everything but this? Why is God in everything but me? So if you're worried about demons or, you know, negative spirits or, you know, guidance from these cards leading you astray, just know that your spirit is stronger, okay, than anything that I say. You always have free will. You always have free will. And, you know, if I'm providing you with comfort, if I'm providing you with support, hope, you know, I have tarot readings. Some of my most popular tarot readings are why you're attractive. You know, how could that not be God? I'm just helping your self-esteem, baby. I'm just telling you what's good about you. So yeah, but, you know, some people are always going to look at it and they're going to believe it's evil. And I do not know where that comes from. Okay, there is no verse in the Bible that talks about tarot cards because guess what? Tarot cards weren't around. Like they didn't exist. There are other forms of divination and they are not mentioned negatively in the Bible. Okay, so I'm very interested to see, because I did ask this person, like, show me how this is evil. So we'll see what they say. If they have they whip out some Bible verse I didn't know, but tarot came later. Tarot wasn't in, you know, the Aramaic, I can't say that word, Aramaic times with Jesus. You know, tarot is from, like, not even that long ago, a couple hundred years. So yeah, I don't know why people think it's evil. But let's go into, is it a sin? Okay, so now if you're not Christian, this won't matter for you, but where I'm from, a lot of people are Christian, and I do know that a lot of people I'm speaking to are Christian, so it is the world's most popular religion. So we're going to go into, is it a sin in Christianity? So there are the 7 deadly sins. This is why I have my phone out. It's the 7 cardinal sins, okay? These are the main ones. These are the main verses given to us by God. Okay, so the first one is pride, right? Honestly, when I'm telling you why you're attractive, maybe that is invoking pride. It's possible. I've never actually thought about that one before. So yeah, if I'm making you feel overly prideful, maybe it is a sin. I do think if I had a great deal of pride in my work and I was like, yeah, I know the truth of the universe, you know, I put myself above God, then that would be very sinful, obviously. But I'm not doing that. I'm working under God, right? I'm not saying that tarot is more important than your intuition, than your free will, you know, than the guidance that you find in your daily life, than your reasoning mind. I'm not, right? And neither are you, okay? So I don't think we're going into pride, but, you know, I guess that's debatable territory. The next one is greed, okay? Does tarot inspire greed? Not really. Usually it inspires the opposite of greed, which is the feeling that you have enough or will have enough. Usually it inspires us to get things in the way that's most aligned to our soul or our highest self. So I don't really think it inspires greed. Let me know what you think, though, as I go through these. If you have any thoughts, I would love, love, love to hear from you. 3, lust. Does tarot make you lust? Not really. Maybe though some of the like twin flame readings, you know, the ones or the like, what are his dirty thoughts of you? Maybe those inspire a little bit of lust, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, do you think it's to the extent that God would really be smiting us down? I don't think so, right? It's pretty safe in terms of lust, especially if you look at the way our world is set up today. Like, you just see twerking on the TV. Yeah, you just see like crazy over-sexualized content everywhere now, right? So tarot in of itself does not inspire lust, but to be honest, we are in an incredibly lusty time. I'm not really sure what you do about that. This is funny. Okay, envy. No, tarot does the opposite of envy, okay? Tarot makes you happy to be yourself. In my personal experience, tarot makes you grateful to be living yourself, to be having your own life. When you're feeling jealous or envious of another person, and if you tap in with tarot cards to your life purpose or to your energy or to why you experience certain things, usually you'll be like, oh yeah, this is what's best for me. Oh yeah, I'm happy I'm myself, right? I'm glad I'm me. Especially when you get into those tarot readings, like I said, why are you attractive? What energy you embody? What are your powers and gifts? Those make you happy to be yourself. So that's the opposite of envy here. Sloth. I do think tarot can inspire sloth because occasionally it can make us very passive, right? If you're just only doing tarot all day and never taking any actions in your life, then yeah, that could potentially be sloth. So I don't know how you felt about going through these sins, but I just thought it'd be kind of interesting because, like I said, none of these specific 7 sins really specifically relate to tarot. But like anything, it's just a tool. Sure, it can be used to sin. It could be used in a way that causes, oh, I also forgot to, oh wow, gluttony. This doesn't really cause gluttony. And wrath or anger, right? Which, again, it doesn't really cause anger. Unless you're looking for, like, what is their karma? Like, are they getting punished? You know what I mean? But like anything, it's a tool. And it can be used to create harm. And it can be used to create good. I already have a video kind of going into a lot more specific of how tarot works and how you can make sure you're always using it. But I kind of forget what I said because it was a few years ago, I think, now that I made it. So check that out if you want. It's called The Truth About Tarot. Something like that. But the other thing I wanted to look at was the 7 virtues, okay? The 7 heavenly virtues. So does tarot help to inspire the 7 heavenly virtues? So the first one, humility. Definitely. Because tarot helps you to see the bigger reason for things. Tarot helps you to zoom out and see the bigger perspective. Tarot is you humbling yourself and saying, I need a little bit support. I need a little bit of guidance. I need some direction from spirit, some direction from God. So it definitely inspires humility. You have to be humble to even trust a reader to give you a reading or a personal reading. You do have to humble yourself a little bit, and you have to let them in. Okay? You have to let someone else tell you advice. So it requires humility, definitely. Charity. Does it inspire charity? Well, if you get the Six of Pentacles, that is the card of charity. A lot of the time, though, you will find tarot readers and tarot in general inspiring you to share your abundance, inspiring you to share wealth, inspiring you to be more open and loving towards people around you. So if tarot is being used in that way, then it definitely inspires charity. Chastity? Nah, not really. Again, maybe for some people, but not really chastity. Gratitude, definitely tarot inspires gratitude, because it allows you to see why things are happening in your life. And say, like my friend recently, she went through a breakup with this guy that she was really into, she really liked, she wanted things to work out, and they didn't. So she was really sad. But from going through tarot reading with her and looking deeper into the situation, what we found was this was really protecting her. What we found was this actually was aligning her to, now a few months later, she's connecting with someone who is way better than he was, right? So it definitely inspires gratitude, and often for things that are harder to be grateful for. Like, she was really struggling with her breakup, and it allowed her to feel gratitude for it. It allowed her to feel purpose for it. So definitely gratitude from tarot. Temperance and patience, for sure. Temperance is even one of the tarot cards, right? I'm sure, I don't know if you're watching this video, if you've like never seen tarot before, or if you're well versed, but I'll show you the card of Temperance. It definitely inspires patience. Tarot teaches you, about seasons of your life, about things like divine timing. It tells you, now is the time, with the Fool, now is the time for a leap of faith, or now isn't. So it definitely allows us to be patient and to have that more objective spiritual perspective. Here's Temperance. And I gotta say, that's a literal angel on the card. A literal angel. So for those people who think it's evil, like, come on. We're talking about angels here. But, you can't change everyone's perspectives. And, if anything, like, that person has a really negative view, probably for a reason. They've been told something or whatever. Judgment as well. Again, it's an angel. Okay? Angels are light beings. Okay? They're spirits that are here to help and support us. Everyone has angels. We have personal angels that guide us throughout our lives. And this is a way to connect with them. If you learn tarot, you can create your own connection with your angels and your spirit guides. And then diligence. So definitely, tarot will tell you when it's time to work hard. Tarot will tell you when it's time to put your head down and get to work. What details you might be missing. Like, there's a lot of cards. I believe this card is just coming out here. I believe this card even stands for diligence. So, well, let me remember what we're talking about here. Oh yeah. So while you could say that in some ways tarot could be used to sin, it can also be used for the heavenly virtues. So like I said, it's a tool. It's a tool for us to connect to God. It's a tool for us to connect to spirit. And it's not wrong for you to develop your own connection to God. It's not wrong for you to seek guidance from someone who is intuitive. The way my life works, the way that I've lived the last few years, I've been able to really train my stillness, my intuitive abilities, my meditative abilities, my connection to the unseen world. So if you tap into me as a reader and you ask for my advice, that isn't wrong. Okay? And it's not me being greater than God or greater than you in any way. I have just had this space to focus on this kind of stuff. So if maybe you have had to focus on the material world, on making money, on survival, on building something, I don't know, then you can use my intuition. That's what it is. That's all it is. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this provided some clarity for those of you that were kind of like, what even is tarot? Where does it come from? Is it bad? If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to know what you think. Like I said, anything about the sins or anything like that, I'd be really interested to know what your thoughts are. And if you ever want a personal reading from me, if you'd like to try it out for yourself, to see what it's like, they are great for providing clarity, hope, helping you find your direction and the way, and as well as I find a sense of peace, a deep sense of internal peace, because sometimes you're lost. Sometimes you're uncertain, sometimes you're confused, and tarot will help you to see how these things are serving you. Tarot will give you a little peek into the future, like, yeah, things are going to work out. So it's a beautiful thing. My links are always in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.